What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and I am here today with the review for Married to Medicine. This is season 6. This is episode number 9, and it's titled Black Love. So, without further ado, let's start the video. Alright, so this episode opened up with Toya. So, she is, getting dinner ready for her kids when they come home from school, and then Quad comes over, and Quad just left from Sister Circle Live. I think she said she had been up since 4 a.m. working. And, Toya talking about how she been working. I'm like, okay, Toya, whatever. You say so. We like it and love it. So then, they start to talk about Quad, Well, actually, no. Quad mentioned Toya and Dr. Eugene's new house that they're building. And, Toya pulls out the schematics of the house and telling her about the closet, the bedrooms, and everything like that. And then, Quad is talking about how when she relocated, she went and got a 4-bedroom house. I'm like, girl, what the fuck you need a 4-bedroom house for? It's just you and them 2 dogs. Like, do the dogs both get a room? And then she was like, it's because my family comes down here to visit me with this whole divorce process. And then Toya asked her, how did Dr. G feel about, when she's left the divorce papers, when she gave him the divorce papers. She said she left in a peaceful way. But then in her interview, she said she left the divorce papers and the keys on the table and then called him later on that day. I'm like, that's really fucked up to deliver some divorce papers in that manner, not to even have a conversation with him. Like, Quad is kind of, she kind of get on my nerves, actually a lot this season, Quad. But to do something like that, like you sitting here filing for divorce and you going to put the divorce papers and the keys on the table and not actually sit down and have a conversation with Gregory about the divorce. I mean, it might not have been super duper civil, but y'all could at least had a conversation. You could have been like, you know what, Gregory, I've tried, but I can't move forward. And I think it's time that we, go our separate ways and, try to have a civil and amicable divorce. And I'm just like, I call bullshit on Quad. Because she said she was concerned about Dr. Gregory. And I'm like, that is complete bullshit. If you was concerned about Dr. Gregory, you would not have left the divorce papers in the manner in which you left them. And then, Toya asked Quad, is she looking to date? And Quad says, at this point, I'm not looking to date anybody. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're not looking to date anybody. Because you didn't want Gregory. You didn't want that man. Like, just say that. You didn't want him. Like, anybody with eyes can clearly see that Quad did not want Dr. G in the first place. All right, and then we got another scene with Toya. She is fixing breakfast for her kids. And, Dr. Eugene is talking about their 10th wedding anniversary and, how he wants to lose some more weight. And he's talking about what he wants to do for the wedding anniversary. And, Toya's talking about she wants to go to Greece. I'm like, Toya, be smart, girl. Like, you building a house that's over $2 million and then you want to go to Greece. And then she kind of came to her senses and, she was like, you know what? Let's scale it down. Let's go somewhere a little bit more cost effective. So she decides to go to Antigua. And then, she started talking about, when they went somewhere once before and they went somewhere else and they had, sex before marriage. And mind you, her kids are sitting right there listening to it. And she asked the little boy, did you hear that? He said, yes. And I'm like, oh my God. And then she started cussing in front of him. I'm like, see, that is a prime example of why I ain't got no kids right now, because my mouth is so horrible. I cuss a lot. I say everything that comes to my mind, and kids pick up on all kind of shit that you say. So, Toya just reminded me why I am not ready for kids. So then, Dr. Eugene asked Toya, ouch, that kind of hurts. Then he asked Toya that she want to extend the invitation to the rest of the group. At first, Toya is reluctant to, extend an offer to the group to come on this trip. But I'm like, you're going to do it regardless, because this is Bravo paying for this cast trip. You ain't paying for it. Bravo is. So you got to invite these bitches whether you like it or not. So, she was like, she is apprehensive, mostly because of what happened last year, when they went on their cast trip. And Dr. Heavenly was the one that organized it, and it just went to shit. But then at the end of it, Quad is like, not Quad, but Toya's like, yeah, I'll invite the girls. And, well, not the girls, but invite the couple so that it is a couples trip. They are the only ones that do a couples trip, because the Real Housewives don't even do couples trips. They do girls trips. And it's so funny that I'm talking about couples trips and Real Housewives, because I've been sitting here today binge watching season 10 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and when they went to Barcelona, with Kim not wanting to go because of Croy bullshit. I'm so glad that Kim is not going to be on there this season, her or Sheree. And I'm kind of okay with Kenya not being on there. And speaking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, while I'm talking about this, because this episode wasn't a lot, so if I veer off, bear with me. But, speaking of Real Housewives, next Sunday, Real Housewives of Atlanta is back. And it's going to be Real Housewives of Atlanta first and Married to Medicine. So I'm going to try to do those two videos in the same night and put them up the same night. If not, they will be up on Monday morning as soon as I get to work. All right. And then lastly with Toya. So we got Toya. She's in her house and she's calling all the girls and she's inviting them to Antigua. And she's telling them that this year she and Eugene are planning a trip. And, because again, like I said, the shit that Heavenly planned last year did not work out at all, and she doesn't want to go on her wedding anniversary and have, bickering, arguing, fussing, cussing, all that type of shit. She doesn't want that bullshit, so she just want to have a peaceful trip. I'm like, good luck with that one, because if you including the rest of the couples, it's going to be some bullshit going on with that whole shit. So, like I said, she's talking to all the girls. And she's talking, I know when she called Heavenly asked her, about Quad coming. And, she was like, well, I don't know how Quad will feel since Quad is going through a divorce right now. But I will extend the invite to Quad. But she didn't really expect Quad to be wanting to come. So she did call Quad and she did tell Quad about it. And, Quad is talking about how she's in her own little space right now because of the divorce that she filed. But she does say that she would come. I'm like, surprised. I was surprised that Quad agreed to come. And then she brings up Contessa. And I don't know if Toya said she doesn't want to invite Contessa. And I'm sitting here thinking, but even still, if she said she didn't want to invite Contessa or if she said she wanted to invite Contessa, it's still stupid. Like, this whole issue that Toya has with Contessa is retarded as fuck. Like, you got a beef with Contessa because Contessa did not tell you what's going on in her life. Like, Toya needs to get some fucking business. That's really what Toya needs to do, is get her some motherfucking business, because she's too busy concerned about what other people are doing in their lives. Like, girl, mind your business. It's just that simple and easy to me, if you want me to be honest with you. All right, then we have Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa, she's at home with her kids. And, Dr. Jackie comes over there to visit her. So when Dr. Jackie gets there, she is telling, Dr. Contessa about the onesie party that she had and how they kind of had a breakthrough and they kind of she's like, so it brought us back like this. She's like, it didn't bring us like this. It kind of brought us maybe like this. I would say it brought y'all like this. Well, I'd say it brought y'all kind of like this. Just a little bit, not that much. And, Dr. Jackie, since Dr. Jackie and she came up with gifts. So since Dr. Jackie has been through the same thing, a double mastectomy, just like Dr. Contessa has, she knows what Dr. Contessa is going through. But Dr. Jackie was like, you know what, after I had my surgery, I don't think she said after a week or 2 weeks, she was back in her office working, because she was like, I cannot sit at home and watch HGTV all day. And I absolutely 100% agreed with Dr. Jackie. Like, when I lost my job late last year and I sat at home all day, every day, I'm like, oh my God, like, how do people do this shit all day? I mean, I clean my house, my apartment up. I would go to the mall and stuff, but I'm just like, how do people sit here and do this kind of shit? Like, people who live out, and no offense to people who do it, but people who live off the government funding and just sit at home all day and collect a check, I'm like, I don't know how you can do that. Like, that is the most boring shit in the world. Just sit at home all day and look at TV, cook and clean. Shout out to the housewives who do that, because it just would not be me. Like, I don't know. Shout out to the housewives and the house husbands, because I couldn't do no shit like that. Like, I got to get out and about. I got to feel like I'm, I have to feel like I am being constructive in my day. Like, I have to feel like I'm doing something. So shout out to the housewives and the house husbands who do it. Kudos to you. So, Dr. Jackie did ask Dr. Contessa if the reason why she's not coming around is because of Toya. She was like, fuck no. Toya is nobody for me not to come around. She said it's because she don't want to be hugging people and she's still in pain, which I get that. You know, your tits are probably still sensitive, so you don't want to sit there and hug people and be in pain. So I definitely get that. And then Dr. Jackie tells her she just got to get herself out that house, which I definitely agree with that. Get yourself out that house. Like, I would go stir crazy after a certain point. I would go completely stir crazy, and I'd be like, you know what? I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to do something with my day, positive and constructive. Okay, so then we got Dr. Jackie. So Dr. Jackie is coming home from work, and she's in her scrubs, and Curtis, old lurch looking ass, tells her, I want you to get dressed up, find something nice to wear because we're going somewhere. And she was trying to figure out what should she wear. So, she finds something to wear. And then we find out that Curtis has set up this nice elaborate dinner for he and Dr. Jackie to celebrate their 16th year wedding anniversary. He's talking about how he didn't expect for them to make it to 16 years. None of us expected for you guys to make it to 16 years after the bullshit you put Dr. Jackie through last year. But he is hopeful that, they'll make it to 17 years wedding anniversary. And I'm like, okay, Curtis, if you say so, keep your dick in your pants, and you will. And, Dr. Jackie is talking about how she's trying to get to the point where she can completely let everything go, but she's not 100% there, but she's getting there. And I'm like, Dr. Jackie, you a better person than I am, because it ain't no way in fucking hell I would have took Curtis back after all the bullshit he put her through last season. Like, he can buy me all the nice expensive gifts he want to buy me, but I just probably would have never took Curtis back because everything that happened with them was so public. Like, it just wouldn't have been no way I would have took that motherfucker back. But like I said, Dr. Jackie is a lot better than I am. All right, then we got Heavenly. So Dr. Heavenly has a patient in her office today, and it is none other than Tawanda Braxton. And she's talking about how she does work for the Braxton, does dental work for the Braxtons. I'm like, okay, Heavenly, don't really care. And, she's talking about how Tawanda has become a friend for her. And then she asks Tawanda if she's having sex. I'm like, God damn, like, how nosy can you be? Like, you're not her OBGYN. You're not her primary physician. Like, I ain't got to ask you. You don't need to ask me no kind of sexual questions whatsoever. I don't give a fuck how good of friends you think we are. My business ain't got shit to do with you. All you need to worry about is my teeth, my oral stuff. Don't worry about me giving oral sex. Don't worry about me having sex. Don't worry about none of that shit. Just worry about my teeth. If I have need to get a root canal, need to get a tooth pulled, I have cavities, I have, gingivitis, I got, whatever. Anything, but don't sit here and ask me about my sex life. Get the fuck out of here. And then, she asking Tawanda how's her relationship. And I'm like, what relationship? Tawanda's in a relationship with somebody? Has anybody ever saw Tawanda's boyfriend? Like, I thought there was a whole running thing last one season that, nobody had ever saw Tawanda's boyfriend, but don't really give a fuck. So then, she's talking about how Andre is bitter. And I'm like, oh my God, Tawanda, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. And then, Heavenly said, talking about how, Tawanda's so open about her marriage, unlike Quad. Well, I mean, shit, Tawanda's marriage played out completely in front of the screens, and Quad's is just now starting to play out in front of the screen. So, shit, if there's a big, huge difference, we saw Tawanda's marriage unfolding from the beginning of the Braxton family values. I mean, we kind of saw the same thing with Quad's marriage, but that's neither here nor there. But I just think Heavenly was being a little bit too motherfucking nosy in that whole scene with Tawanda. All right, so then we have Mariah. She is at home. She's looking at a bill from, I don't forgot what sort it was she was looking at. And, she's asking Aiden about the bill. And then Aiden is talking about his job. Remember last week he was talking about, they were taken over by another business partner. And I know he said that they extended him an offer like for 5 or 10 years. I can't remember how long it was. But Aiden only took the offer for 5 years, for a year. And Mariah's like, a year, that's going to come quicker than you think, which it really is. And she's like, so what's next? So he was like, I think he's going to renew his license in Georgia, but he's also going to look to renew it, get a license in other states. And she was like, well, what other states are you thinking about? And he says California and Texas. So that begs the question for me because I know that they're doing a Marriage to Medicine Los Angeles. So I guess this is going to segue, which I don't know how this is going to work. Like, when is Marriage to Medicine LA supposed to come out? Because when they want Married to Medicine Atlanta to be a lead-in for the LA cast, I don't know. But back to what I was talking about. You know, that he's talking about California and Atlanta. I mean, not Atlanta, but Texas. So I was confused. Like I said, I know that they are doing Married to Medicine LA, but when he said Texas, I'm like, so are they thinking about bringing back Married to Medicine Houston? Because they never did officially cancel Married to Medicine Houston. They just put it on a hiatus for that's been 2 or 3 years now. So I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, what's going on? Are you guys doing Married to Medicine LA and Married to Medicine Houston? Because I was just confused by that. So if anybody out there knows anything about that, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so then Mariah, she's having her what she called a black love party, where the couples come as their favorite black couples. And, you know, she's asking Aiden, do she think that the girls will be offended by it with them being an interracial couple? And I'm like, what the fuck does it have to do with anything? But I don't know if I would be offended about y'all having a black love couple as much as I would be offended that you guys are having a black love party and that you invited Quad. I mean, I get it. You want to extend the invite to Quad and say, you know, I'm extending the invite to you. If you want to come, come. If you don't want to come, I completely understand, but I just don't want you to feel left out. So that would be what I would think a little people would be offended by that, just with Quad going through her divorce. So all the couples are there. Some of them I had no idea who the hell they were. I was looking at Simone and Cecil. I'm like trying to figure out. I'm like, I know y'all a basketball couple, but what couple are y'all? But they were Monica and Quincy from Love and Basketball. I'm like, okay. And once I looked at Simone a little bit more, I'm like, oh, I definitely see Monica. Did not see Quincy when it came to Cecil, but that's neither here nor there. And then Dr. Jared and her husband Will, they came as Will and Jada, and it took me forever to figure that one out. Because when when her husband Will put his head down, I'm like, who the hell y'all supposed to be? And then when Cecil said Will Smith, I said, no, absolutely not. Y'all are not Will and Jada. But, you know, if they say so, whatever. So then Toya and Eugene show up, and they are Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey. God, I can't stand either one of them. Well, I really can't stand Steve Harvey, to be honest with you. Because my mom used to love Steve Harvey, but I do not like Steve Harvey. I hadn't liked Steve Harvey since that whole bullshit he did with your stupid ass President Donald Trump. That's when I was over Steve Harvey. And then Mama Lucy was there. She was with somebody. I don't know who the fuck she was with, but they were the king and queen of Zamunda from Coming to America, and Jackie and Curtis. Jackie and Curtis tried this one. So Dr. Jackie and Curtis show up as Michelle Obama, and my nose is running. They showed up as Michelle Obama and my first lady, Michelle Obama, and my current president, Barack Obama. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Curtis, you should have said hell to the no that I am not dressing up as President Obama. That would have been the last person I would have dressed up as. Like, I be damn. Y'all could have went as Mary J. Blige and Kendu Isaac. Y'all could have went as Kevin Hart and Nico, aka The Rib. Hell, y'all could have even went as Michael Jordan and his ex-wife. Like, what the hell? Who the fuck told y'all to dress up as Michelle Obama? Now, I'm fine with Dr. Jackie dressing up as Michelle Obama, but Curtis, absolutely not. You will not dress up as my president. Not on any day in this earth. Fuck no. And then you got Mariah and Aiden. They are dressed up as Cookie and Lucius. I didn't really see that. I didn't see it more so in hell, either one of them, to be honest with you, because Mariah had on that synthetic looking ass wig, and I'm like, Cookie don't wear. I ain't watched Empire since season 2, but I'm like, her hair ain't never looked that cheap, but it was cute for what it was. And then we got Dr. Heavenly. She is dressed up as Tina Turner. I'm like, Black Love? Why the no? And I love Tina Turner, so no shade to Tina Turner, but why would you dress up as Tina Turner? that would mean that Dr. Damon would have to dress up as Ike Turner, and Ike beat Tina's ass. Like, come on, an abusive ass man. Good God, why? And then Dr. Heavenly looked like a broke down version of Tina Turner. But I was like, why would you dress up as Tina Turner of all people? She is, a legend and an icon, but her relationship with Ike Turner was the worst relationship that you could ever want to mimic. So Heavenly is actually at Quad's house, and Quad is over there in her feelings as usual. And she's saying, when she went to go shop for her costume at the costume store, she broke down thinking about her divorce. I'm like, bullshit, Quad. If that's what you want us to believe, I'm gonna pretend like I believe it, but I really don't believe it, because I know you full of shit talking about I broke down in the store thinking about my marriage. Girl, fuck out of here. And then she's gonna break down in front of Dr. Heavenly. I'm like, girl, you are the actress of the year. You deserve an Academy Award for the outstanding work that you are doing in a drama series. Because I'm just like, Quad, do anybody believe that you are brokenhearted about your marriage? Because if they do, they clueless. Like, who could believe that she's sad about her marriage? Okay, so then we also had a scene where Jackie called Heavenly, and she asked Heavenly, was she coming? And Heavenly said, I'm not coming. I'm going to go home and have sex with Daddy. And I'm like, Heavenly, just say you don't want to go to Mariah's party because it's actually Mariah. And Simone said something that I thought was really good. So remember earlier in the season, a few episodes ago, when Heavenly had that crab boil, Mariah actually showed up. Despite her differences with Heavenly, Mariah showed up, and that's what Heavenly could have did. She could have showed up and be like, you know what, I don't fuck with Mariah like that, but I'm gonna show up to support the bitch, and that's all it could have been. But instead, you want to make up this and this and that about why you didn't go. And then, Quad, once they hang up the phone, because they also asked, well, should we call Quad and see if Quad is coming? And Mariah's like, since Heavenly is not coming, Quad is not coming as well. And then you go back over to where Heavenly and Quad are, and Heavenly wants to sit there and talk about how she thinks that Mariah was being messy by doing this. I don't think Mariah was being messy. I'm not gonna say messy. I feel like it might have been a little bit insensitive, but I would never say that. I don't think that Mariah was being messy with that. And then, with all the couples there, Mariah tells them that she had written a poem for them. It's called My Black Love, and she wished that Heavenly and Quad was there because there was something in there for both of them too. And she read that poem, and I'm like, okay, I really want listening to it. And side note, when Mariah came in there dressed as Cookie, did anybody hear Curtis in the interview side by side with Dr. Jackie talking about that's a cookie he would like to have in his bag? I'm like, but you sat here earlier in the episode talking about how this is your 16th wedding anniversary and you want to make it to 17. Good luck with that one. Because I'm sitting here just like Dr. Jackie when he said that's a cookie that he would like to have in his bag. Excuse me? The fuck? So, and then you also have, also at the party, you had them talking about Contessa. And, Toya was with Dr. Jared and Simone, and they were talking about Contessa. And, Toya was talking about how she wanted to go back to Contessa's house and check on her. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck for? You are not friends with Contessa, so why do you want to go by her house and check on her? Like, make that make sense to me. And she said that Dr. Eugene told her, since they are not in a good space, it would be best that she didn't go. I 100% agree that it wouldn't be best that she go. And then, they're talking, Dr. Simone says that Contessa probably was not coming because of her issues with Toya. I'm like, Dr. Simone, you are reaching like a motherfucker. Toya is not somebody that I would avoid anything with. Like, Toya is absolutely somebody that I would not give one flying fuck. I wouldn't give one fuck, two shits, or three damns about her. Like, fuck Toya. And then Toya's like, well, I didn't know I had that much power. Bye, bitch. Toya, you don't have that much motherfucking power. You're not that important to anybody but your husband and your kids. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then you also have the men talking about, who Quad will come as. Somebody said Oprah, and I don't forget who else they said. And then they talking about how Greg is having a hard time with this whole thing, with this divorce, which I I mean, I'm sure Greg is having a hard time with the divorce because Greg was more into his marriage than his wife was. So it's going to affect him a lot more than it is going to affect her, even though she's saying it's affecting her. I'm like, bullshit, Quad. A lie, don't care who tell it. All right, all right. So that is it for Married to Medicine. Like the video, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the season finale.